Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we're going to focus on one of the main gains and one of the main achievements of the June 30th revolution, which took place in 2013, and one of the important presidential initiatives, which is the Decent Life or Haya Karima, affecting millions of Egyptians in the rural areas and affecting thousands of villages of Egypt. We will be starting straight away with a report detailing the achievements and the gains of the Decent Life initiative under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Stay tuned. Egypt's Decent Life initiative is changing lives of people living in the rural areas across the country. In 2019, with the hope of improving the lives of the underprivileged Egyptians, the government launched the Decent Life Initiative, or Haya Karima, a national project for the development of the Egyptian countryside. The initiative targets half of the Egyptian 108 million population that lives in 4,658 villages across the country. It succeeded in bringing about change in many aspects of the lives of people in these villages, notably by investing in the human capital, the abilities of the village inhabitants themselves, and by raising the quality of the development services. The initiative also stimulates the economic development and builds the basic but fundamental infrastructure, providing decent housing including access to the clean water, sewage, sanitation, electricity, gas and communications, and back the most in need families with the small and micro projects. It funds and sets up medical, educational and community services by building 13,000 classrooms and expanding health facilities and hospitals through the new universal health insurance system. The initiative was initiated in 2019 by focusing on the Egyptian poorest villages, where almost half the population was living below the poverty line. In December of 2020, it expanded to include over 4,500 villages within the framework of Egypt's Sustainable Development Strategy, Vision 2030. The budget of the Decent Life initiative was estimated at 700 billion Egyptian pounds, while the stakeholders include all the ministries and the state agencies, NGOs, the private sector, and the donors from abroad and within Egypt. It goes without saying that the initiative is taxing financially, since nothing of this magnitude has ever been pursued before in the Egyptian modern history. The project is inspirational, as it is the biggest development project in Egypt in terms of funding and number of beneficiaries, and it galvanizes all the state institutions and the civil society behind it so as to implement its goals. More importantly, it helps to shift the lives of those targeted from a stifling and stagnant status quo to a more modern and promising situation. Due to the enormous volume of work required, the initiative focused first on the villages having a 70% poverty rate, then on the villages with the poverty rates between 50 and 70%, and finally, in the third phase, on the villages with a 50% poverty rate. The 4,658 villages were divided into 3 phases of nearly 1,500 each. So far, the initiative had succeeded in reducing the poverty and providing critical services to the targeted villages by approximately 11%, and resulted in the improvements in access to basic services by 50%. Up to 4.46 million people benefited from the Decent Life initiative in the first phase, with a total of 600 national projects and services at 13.5 billion pounds cost. The Decent Life initiative is a project like no other. It aims to replace the dilapidated state of the Egyptian countryside, making it more modern and including all dimensions and sustainable development and dignity. It provides the rural Egyptians with a decent life.